Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Checkmate. That's it. The Democrats are now cornered. See, a couple months ago, Trump and Bondi, they started talking about the Epstein list, telling us they're going to release it. Then we have, all these Twitter influencers come and receive the binders. But there was nothing really in those binders. There was nothing new. They were weird. Trump's name, for some reason, was there without an explanation. Then Elon Musk says, Trump is in those Epstein files. Oh, my goodness. Then we were supposed to get them, and then we got that lame, weird memo. Remember that? Well, then, when nothing happened, people started saying, what's going on? And that's where the checkmate came into play. Then, for the first time ever, the Democrats started asking for the Epstein list. The Democrats started demanding that the Epstein Black Book, the Epstein client list, and the flight logs all be released to the public for the nation and the world to see. But Trump played it cool. Trump sat back. Trump watched Epstein become the most talked subject about in the world, not just the country, the world. Excuse me. And now, for the last 2 days, Maxwell, right? The one that's doing 20 years in federal prison for trafficking women and children for Epstein and his clients. She's been testifying. She gave them over 100 names. And Trump just moments ago stood on the White House lawn and said, the client list is on my desk. I am personally looking at it. And we're going to take her testimony and we're going to put it together with the list and we're going to release everything. So the Democrats thought Trump was not going to do it, but right? They thought he was faking. So they were going to use this. They were going to use this as a political stunt to try to get their approval ratings up and attack Trump. But instead, what they did is they drew more attention than Trump ever could by himself to the subject. And now it's checkmate, baby. Do me a huge favor, ladies and gentlemen. Smash that thumbs up. Subscribe, leave me a comment. Where are you tuning in from today? And really quickly, today's sponsor is VERITY Metals. Let me show you this. That's a roll of 20 1-ounce silver eagles. It's like this. The banks, the Fed, no one can print this. They can't tax this if it's in your hands. They can't take it from you. Even if all the banks in the nation collapse tomorrow, if your IRA, 401k, your savings, your crypto wallet goes poof, this won't. This is real, constitutional, physical, biblical, in your hands money. VERITY Metals, they're patriots, Trump supporters, and people of faith. Call them at 888-328-6105. Tell them Vlad sent you for your free silver on your next order. Let's go. This is going to be a great show, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to jump onto Twitter. Let's go into my account. I'm going to show you a couple things. So, breaking. Ghislaine Maxwell allegedly gave the Department of Justice 100 different names linked to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, let's see what Trump said today.
See a big difference. Because I just spoke to Ghislaine Maxwell. Is that on the table?
Yeah, the sound's about to get better.
Each of you going.
Todd Blanche is a great gentleman. He's a great man who's a great lawyer. He's got a great heart. But he's over there now. I don't know exactly what's happening, but I certainly can't talk about pardons.
Can you trust what she's telling him? She's a convicted trafficker who's eager to get out of prison.
Well, he's a professional lawyer. I think he's been through things like this before. But, you should focus on Clinton. You should focus on the president of Harvard, the former president of Harvard. You should focus on some of the hedge fund guys. I'll give you a list. These guys lived with Jeffrey Epstein. I sure as hell didn't. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, this is not me part of the president.
So the former, Harvard guy, Bill Clinton, they lived with Epstein. They lived at his island. Now, but here's the thing. When it comes to Maxwell, is he going to, I hope Trump doesn't pardon her. Okay, cut a couple of years of her sentence, but pardoning a, convicted sex trafficker? I don't know. But let me show you a couple things, and I want to break it down then. And then I do have something about Obama. Watch. Trump says, I have nothing to do with the guy. Trump says media should be talking about Larry. This is who he said. Larry Summers, Bill Clinton, who went to Epstein Island 28 times when asked about DOJ Ghislaine Maxwell interviews. Now, so this is the same thing I showed you, but that's the names. Now check this out. But this is the bad news of the show. If you expect Obama to be arrested or indicted, I don't care what kind of evidence is found about Obama. I don't see him ever being arrested or indicted. It sucks. Quote, Obama owes me big. Trump says SCOTUS immunity ruling helps Russiagate ringleader Barack Obama. Quote, but it doesn't help the people around him at all. He's done criminal acts. There's no question about it. So remember when the Supreme Court ruled?
Thank you, Mr. President. How do you think that the Supreme Court's ruling that benefited you on presidential immunity would apply to former President Barack Obama and what you're accusing him of doing?
It probably helps him a lot. Probably helps him a lot, the immunity ruling. But it doesn't help the people around him at all. But it probably helps him a lot. He's done criminal acts, there's no question about it. But he has immunity, and it probably helps him a lot.
So let me break down this whole Obama situation. All right. Obama has presidential immunity. The Supreme Court of the land ruled on that when they tried to indict Trump for January 6th. And they said, you can't. He was the president at the time. He thought what he was doing was right, and he has presidential immunity. And what Trump is saying now is, Obama, it's going to be very difficult to indict and arrest Obama for what he did when it comes to Russiagate and laying the foundation and work for him. Well, Obama was president at that time, and, the faceless voices. Oh my goodness. I hope you're not talking about Juan 07. His real name is Wayne Willett, insurance salesman from Washington State. Come on. That guy is a grifter. But that guy also told us there won't be an election last year. Then he said Kamala would win the election. Then he told us there's going to be a nuke on Christmas. Then he told us they won't certify in January 6th. Then he told us Trump won't be inaugurated. That guy, and I've been calling that guy out for a debate, and he won't. He spoke crap about the Jake Chansley from January 6th, and then Jake Chansley confronted him about it, and he ran away. Come on. Now, but it's Obama's team that we can go after. It's Obama's team that we can go after, and we can actually put away for what they've done. But I want to go back to the whole Epstein situation. It is a perfect checkmate, right? Now, did Trump play it out this way purposefully, or he just played it as it went? We don't know, right? We can speculate, but we don't know. I've interviewed Juan. He doesn't know anything. I want you to do this. Look into why he hides his face and changed his name. And then his ex-wife, her daughter, his former stepdaughter, and the accusations that were made. I'm going to leave it there. Real name, Wayne Willett, from Washington, insurance salesman. That's it. The accusations that were made by the little stepdaughter, and why the wife divorced, and restraining orders. Yeah, I'd change my name too. So it's happening, right? These situations are happening. And you look, the Democrats, for the first time ever, have been coming out and crying, and they've been screaming, oh, Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. But now Trump's DOJ are going, right, with gasoline. They've interviewed her. She wants a pardon. I think there's a chance she'll get a pardon if she gives them all the information they want, and she gives them all this brand new information and is ready to testify and see, on her behalf, other people are arrested, other traffickers and perverts and disgusting crooks, criminals, and just the lowest of the earth. Maybe she will get a little, pardoned. Now, here's 107. His name is Wayne Willett. That's his real name. From Washington State. I've interviewed this guy. I've seen this guy in Vegas. Grifter. Biggest scam artist in the MAGA movement. The biggest. Everything he says, nothing ever happens. He says have you ever seen him at Mar-a-Lago? I've been to Mar-a-Lago. Have you ever seen him around Trump? I've been around Trump. All right. And it's just, yeah. But again, when it comes to the whole QAnon thing, even that, ladies and gentlemen, if you believe in QAnon, okay, let me show you something. You're going to be shocked. We're going to take this somewhere. Google search. We're going on a Google. Operation Trust. So you can, right, don't fall for another Operation Trust strategy. A lot of people who have looked into this, look, this is a history book operation. There are videos on this. What was Operation Trust? They used Operation Shattered Trust. This operation took down Mexico a few years ago when they had good guys. So academia.edu. Check this out. Okay. So that's sorry, I clicked the wrong one. Check this out. I'm going to show you guys. We can disagree, but I want to show you something. How my family's country, the Russian Empire, was stolen by the deep state of the world, the Jews, right? You know why you're told to save the Jews for last? Because they want you to ignore how much money we give them, how many wars we go on behalf of them. Watch this. See, even the CIA, the old Russian, and watch this. Okay, here's this one. Okay, just so look at Operation Trust, Russian Operacja Trust, was a counterintelligence operation of the State Political Directorate of the Soviet Union. The operation, which was set up by the GPU predecessors Cheka, ran from 1921 to 1927. Set up a fake anti-Bolshevik resistance organization, Monarchist Union of Central Russia. That's what it was called. In order to help the OGPU identify real monarchists, real people who were against the Bolshevik scheme and anti-Bolshevik. The created front company was called the Moscow Municipal Credit Association. So they had finances. Here, sorry, this is what I was reading. The whole point of Operation Trust was they spread a rumor. The Bolsheviks, before they went in and overthrew the government, they spread a rumor that the king has everything under control. Don't protest. Don't riot. Don't go out and take back your cities, your villages, and your country. Stay home. Trust the plan. Enjoy the show. Even when the king was dead for almost a decade, people believed he's still alive, in hiding and in control. He's just letting the Bolsheviks run the country. They're not running the country. And this has been done 5 times in the last 100 years. This has been done 5 times in the last 100 years. And I'll tell you this. When our country is, yes, it's hopium. If somebody tells you to sit home, don't vote. Yeah, Q is modern day Operation Trust. If someone tells you enjoy the show instead of telling you register voters, get out and vote like your life depends on it, they're not your friend, they're your enemy. If someone, instead of telling you go be active in your local community, instead of telling you that, they tell you grab popcorn, they're not your friend, they're your enemy. If my enemy is complicit, I got it. I'm under control, right? But if I'm wrong, soon we will know, right? Soon we will know. But here's the thing. None of the predictions that I used to be the biggest dude ever when it comes to Q. The operation, yes, I know the Q started with RFK. That's what they say. Operation Trust ran for nearly 80 years. Vladimir Lenin, who was the first leader of the Soviet Union, who killed the last Roman Romanov, the last king of the Russian Empire. 27 years before Lenin killed the last king, Lenin's older brother killed the last king's older brother, who was king at the time. So Lenin's brother kills the king. The king's younger brother becomes president, and then 27 years later, Lenin finishes the job, kills his younger brother, overthrows the government. It was an 80-year rumor that was generations happening. And then look at the end result. Guys, don't even call him Juan. His name is Wayne Willett. That's his real name. I know the guy. Like, I don't know him, but I've seen him. I've interviewed him. I've tried to debate him. So I interviewed him, and then I tried to debate him. And he will only go on if you shut up and listen. But if you want to debate, he won't come. He won't come on. The point, what is happening now? Let's see the things for how they truly are, right? I think right now they are all being set, like, things are going. Do I believe 100% that we are going to see mass arrests? I don't. I want to see mass arrests. But the only person that we have seen, the only one that we have seen arrested, I'm sorry, was President Trump. But Q never told us that Trump would be arrested. They told us the bad guys would be arrested. It's crazy. Yeah. It's wild. No, it's I'm telling you, just it's if you read history, you will find Operation Q, Trust the Plan, is not a new thing. On my channel, I will expose even the fake MAGAs. I will expose the fake operations. On my channel, I will call out in 2020, in 2018, we lost the election because of QAnon. In 2018, we lost the midterm election because QAnon said that summer of 2018, the Democrat Party would collapse. That's what they said. It never happened. It never happened. But the thing is, I want to go back to this. Right now, Gasoline, she's talking. She's giving names. She's spilling beans. Now, when it comes to Trump's attorneys, they're going there, they're talking to them, they are, discussing with her. I think we're learning new stuff that we've never seen before. Now, here we go. Where was this? The Democrat representative jury. Hold on. Here we go. Let me show this to you, ladies and gentlemen. Second day of Ghislaine Maxwell's interview to Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche Rapps Attorney says she answered questions. About 100 people, her team will seek a Trump pardon. As the Jeffrey Epstein trafficking ring becomes a bigger story by the day, the DOJ number 2 official, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, he headed down to Florida to meet in person with the convicted sex trafficker, Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's longtime partner in crime. After a 5-hour questioning marathon today the official met with the disgraced British socialite for the second time in U.S. Attorney Office in Tallahassee, Florida. Now, Maxwell's attorney, David Marcus, told the press after a second day of interviews that his client answered questions about 100 people. Wow. So, that's a lot of names.
This is video of Maxwell returning to prison just moments after meeting with Trump's deputy attorney general. And you can see her there. Actually, if you look closely, she's carrying a box of material. Now, Maxwell's attorney says she was forthcoming.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I've done my people. The stupidest thing I hear from people who believe in Q is do your own research. I just told you about Operation Trust. Have you ever researched that act? I was a history history's my thing. I love history. Have you ever researched Operation Trust? It's like we're watching it happen again. Come on, research it. I have researched it. Why would our military post their top secret information on a Japanese pornographic website? It's a porn website. Do they want us all hooked on that garbage? Nobody. And I have a lot of friends. I've interviewed General Flynn. I've asked him about this. I have friends in the military right now. No one falls for it. Come on. Now, what I think should happen, here's my thing, what should happen. People need to be now. And well, again, really, Vlad, you've lost it. How about you come back with the fact? Can you factually discredit what I just said? Instead of saying, do more research. Really, Vlad? You've lost it. How about factually? 4chan is a pornographic website. It promotes bestiality. It promotes the most perverted things on the internet. That's why they are, come on. How do people not know what it is? I really hope Trump does not pardon her when all said and done. It's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out. I really hope Trump doesn't pardon her. Now, let me say this, though, and I want to wrap it up with this. Santos, right? Congressman Santos went to prison 2 days ago. He turned himself in for 7 years. For what? For campaign finance violations. He never did anything. Maybe he had some campaign finance violations. But the reason he was hated by Congress and thrown out was because he came in, and the very first interview he did, like a month into his Congress thing, was, these people are freaks. George Santos came out in his first interview. He's like, there are sex chambers in the basement. He's like, they're all sleeping with each other. They're drunk all hours of the day. And then they kicked him out. Then first he was indicted on something stupid. Then they kicked him out. And now he's going to prison for 7 years. He should be pardoned. He should be pardoned. He is going to prison for winning Congress seat that he was not supposed to win, because he ran against someone backed by the swamp rhino machine. He beat them. He beat the guy he ran against. And then he came in and started exposing what was really happening in Congress when the cameras were off. He needs to be pardoned. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. Have a great day. Now, yeah, so Well, I followed QJob, so so there are back channels like where people who post on the who post videos are able to communicate in the background, and in the background where they communicate is where these drops were being made. Also, who knows that all the Chan websites were hacked maybe 3-4 months ago. They were all hacked, and guess where it took everybody to? So this was a great article. 4chan was hacked, I think, on April. 4chan hacked, Mossad exposed, the digital honeypot that created QAnon and poised the American right. The biggest revelation that Q was born in Tel Aviv, not Langley. So when they hacked it, they released everyone that was who was posting these Q jobs. Like, where was their IPM address going to? Ladies and gentlemen, here's what the entire mythology of Q, the idea of secret military patriots and inside the US government working to expose the deep state and save the children, was in fact a psychological pacification program designed to keep the American right docile, disorganized, and permanently waiting. Trust the plan, stay passive, just post memes. Behind the curtain was Israeli and US operatives writing Q drops. And here's what it says. Israeli IP addresses range responsible for more than 50% of all Q drops, and 30% go back to .edu or .gov. I actually research. I don't just stay in the bubble of Q. I research history. I research where's it coming from. Who are the people talking? How do I know who Juan is, where he lives? How do I know his real name? Because I actually research. If someone I know the top 3, if you go into the top 10 Q people on X, the top 3, I know exactly who they are. I know where they live, what they do. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, but here's the point. And I've said, and I still have friends that are like really into Q. I say this, look, if that's how you think the country is going to be saved, God bless you. Keep looking at drops, keep looking at deltas, keep enjoying the show. I'm going to go work. I'm going to go register voters. I'm going to speak truth to power. I'm going to debate Democrats. I'm going to expose them. You keep enjoying. If that's what you think is going to take to save this country, I don't think so. I think we need to be active. I think we need to go out. I think we need to run for office. Think we need to donate to America First candidates and raise money for them and give them platforms. If you think eating popcorn and enjoying the show is what's going to save the country, God bless you. No. I believe faith without works is nothing. Faith without works is nothing. God bless you. Have a great day. See you soon.